Alright, update on Elon. So this video is really going to be a quick update and more of a red flag that I've noticed. Now, if we start off with these macro fibs, the first one we've got being from high to low, low to high, I've been pointing out we have this double fib, double golden pocket 618 region right between 905 and basically 900 for Elon. This was a super key area that we needed to break above. Not so much in terms of the high to the low, but if we find, yeah, so this was our 618 down here in the micro uptrend. You can see in the micro term we're below the 618, so technically the market in this short-term move is kind of getting invalidated right now. In this macro move from low to high, we're below the 618 right now. So I'm really kind of getting a little bit cautious on DogelonMars, but nonetheless this is more of a warning video, because when you're going to be watching this at the end of the day, we're going to have a decision. Number one, we've already had a daily close on the bottom of these EMA ribbons, so it's really 50-50 whether we're bearish right now, but we're below both of these 618 Fibonacci's, which is a major red flag. Red flag number two, if we're looking at the daily squeeze mon, which is the squeeze momentum indicator, I really think we only have 1 or 2 days to have a big reversal, otherwise the momentum indicator is going to switch red, and I would unfortunately be having to switch to a short-term bearish stance. Like I've been saying, I do believe it's possible we could be coming down to potentially this 786, or potentially for even a retest of this descending trend line that I believe it's been in place since the all-time high. Let me come out. So yeah, this is a very valid trend line. We've obviously flipped it, so I don't want to be too bearish. As long as we are kind of above this trend line, then in the macro term I still remain bullish on DogelonMars. But in the short term, for the next week, for the next couple of days or so, if we have a daily close below the long-term moving indicator, which is round about 882, these are going to change day to day. By the time it comes in tomorrow, if we're still hanging around these areas, then this is going to take another leg down. And obviously right now we've got two huge bearish engulfing candles from the past couple of days, and I really don't think it's going to look too good if we have this dinky little candle hanging around the bottom of these moving averages, because the last time we had this baby green candle here, we just proceeded to put in another bearish engulfing candle with a red formation. So I mean, if this is, like I said, another little dinky candle on the daily, then I would be very cautious on what's going to be happening for the next couple of days. Now, once again, on the daily we're below the 618, so this is really not a good sign, and we're really fighting with the bottom of these EMA ribbons right now. So just to be clear, the market hasn't made a decision. While we are above these EMA ribbons, I can't be bearish on DogelonMars because we're still in the EMAs and we've still fired a long on the daily. So in that regard, as long as we have a reversal back up above the 618s in the next couple of days at 904, then nothing has really changed in the market perspective. Like, I'm not switching bearish until the daily close does come, below 882/880. So I'm not even going to really focus on what's going on in the 4-hourly. I think what's going on in the daily is really important, but what's going on the 4-hourly, at least, we're really picking up bearish momentum on the EMA ribbons once these have flipped red. We came back, retested them, fell off the table, and it was only 4 hours ago that we came back to retest the short-term moving average. So even in the lower time frames, I don't necessarily see a quick reversal to the upside. So I do think we need to be slightly cautious here, at least for me. This is my trading plan, this is how I plan on trading. But you can kind of previously see, we're not necessarily in the clear just because we're heading back to the heart line of the squeeze mon, the momentum indicator, because a lot of the times we've done this, we've kind of cooled off and then had another big impulse. I think Elon is very euphoric. A lot of the time when we do reset these momentum indicators, like you can see it works to the upside and the downside. We reset the bullish momentum, keep on heading up, and then we've reset the bearish momentum, had an impulse, we could be getting ready for another impulse. So I wouldn't be focusing too much on what I'm saying on the 4-hourly. The daily is really your clear-cut picture. The macro trend is much more indicative of what's going to be happening in the price action than what's going on in the 4-hour. And what's going on the daily, once again, we're really fighting with our lives on this lower moving average at 882. So if you're watching this, and you're watching it maybe 4 to 8 hours after it's been uploaded, and we're below 880, you know, I have to assume that we're coming back down to at least the 786 at 789, which, I mean, it really isn't too much of a big move down anymore. It's only a 10/11% move, but we really do need to hold this, or we at least need to hold, you know, this trend line that we recently flipped. I think breaking back below it could be dire. And the only reason I'm being slightly cautious on this right now is because I am of the opinion that Bitcoin could be potentially setting up one further move to the downside. You can see the squeeze momentum indicator is basically reset, and if we keep on hanging around 42.5 by tomorrow, then this is going to flip red. We are going to start picking up bearish momentum. This 42.5, you know, this was a really key area of support, and if we have a daily close below 42.5, then, you know, we're both below the daily EMAs, and we're below this key area of support slash resistance. Well, it's flipping resistance right now, so I'm not going to go into every reason why I think Bitcoin's moving down to 40,000. If you want my opinion on that, you can check out my Bitcoin video I did either, you know, tonight or yesterday. But nonetheless, Bitcoin looks like it wants to have a quick flush out of the weak hands and move down to 40,000. That's a 7% move, and this is where it gets sticky. If Bitcoin moves down 7%, is Dogelon really only going to move down, you know, 13 or 14%? So we need to be, or at least in my opinion, you know, this is my trading plan, I'm going to be slightly cautious on this, because, you know, if we kind of start pushing below, you know, 750 within the next day or so, then we're going to be right back into this descending, well, you know, I think the triangle pattern is done now, but we're still going to be stuck underneath this descending resistance that's been in place since the all-time high. So I'm going to be slightly cautious. Once again, if you're watching this and we've had a daily close above 882, we might be in the clear, but we really need to start pushing up. We need to start taking out at least 900, which is this short-term moving average. That would put us both above the short-term moving average and both of these 618s. So until we break above both of these 618s, I have to unfortunately assume that the 786 down here at 790 is going to get tagged. And, you know, the momentum is looking like we do want to kind of push down to that region anyway. So that really needs to hold. If, once again, if we're below 750, then I imagine Bitcoin is moving down to 40,000, and that could be very, very diabolical for the long-term outlook on DogelonMars. So I'm being cautious right now. I'd really want to see a flip above these 618s and this short-term moving average, which, you know, both of them to stay in the clear. I'd say 910, you know, really needs to be solidly broken above before I can really consider accumulating some more DogelonMars for my moon bag. So that's really all I see today for Dogelon. Best of luck if you're in it. Once again, none of this is financial advice, just my opinion on the market, and you've always got to do what's best for you. Cowboy out. Peace.